Hey people, how's it going? Welcome to day 2 of 31 Days of Horror celebrating October. This is Home by Benjamin Rivers. We're outside looking to get away. What the fuck? I just saw it. Ah! Jesus fuck. Let's get out. Goddamn eyeballs, go away! This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on the map I'd seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign pointed to various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. Oh! Why did I go through the bushes? I don't know. Through the fence, I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wonder if I can find my way around. Alright, through the bushes. There was a fire pit there. It was still a bit warm, and a few embers still burned at the bottom. Ooh. Was someone else out in the woods? Why did they abandon their campsite? 2 folding camp chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There were a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. Perfectly good beer! Whoever was here left this place in a hurry. But why? The cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I shone my flashlight inside and could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. I felt like if I kept rooting around the campsite, someone would walk in on me. Oh, wait. No. Let's go through these bushes, see where we go. No, 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 don't look. No, no. Look, we're looking! Toilet. Oh. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. There wasn't much in the way of clean water there, but the sink did work. Musty wooden plank propped up against the stall door. It did seem really useful. Did I bother to take it? Yes, I take it! I wasn't sure why, but I took the plank. 'Cause it will come in handy later. And this is where we get lost in the woods. Alright, that's where we came in, so let's go this way. Okay, that's the end of that. The sign was the same as the first one I'd seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I didn't know who was camping back there, but I couldn't bear to stick around to look for them. I just wanted to get out of there. I'd finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Let's go! Finding that campsite had been strangely unsettling. I couldn't imagine why anyone would abandon their site in the middle of the night, especially in that dark forest. Murderers! I was relieved, at least, to finally be out of there. Even now, as I peered through the dense trees, I could see cracks of light and a bit of land beyond. I must have been getting closer to town, but where exactly was I? Well, we're by a road. There's a guardrail. I've seen enough Friday the 13th movies to know where this is going. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I'd worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could just hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. The fucking wind, it's a goddamn serial killer! What's in here? I'm just curious. Oh! Fuck! Anything here? What's this? There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs had collected in the corners. The box wasn't receiving any power. The door was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front that said, "Danger, closed for repairs." One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around, like someone had been looking for something. Old work clothes had been picked through, and a few photos and notes had been ripped off the door and spread around. Go upstairs. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained yellow clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys in the line. Norman took over a general store after the factory closed. He, Rachel, and I would get lunch every now and then. Rachel liked him because he seemed more positive despite the setback. I don't think I could say the same about me. Our old break table. The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. It seemed like some beer bottles had been used on the table recently. They weren't as dusty as the rest of it. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes, push it. The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try again? Yes. Sometimes you just gotta kick it. The panel seemed to be working again. Yay! The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognizable. That woman's photo. I knew I had to get back to Rachel to find out what happened. It was shut tight. There was a rusty-looking card slot on the side. Power panel looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. Seemed to be working again. Good. I think let's go down and see. But the cable box, right? Large power with 5 light scales or on the bottom. Oh, okay, we gotta get all the things. So, up. There was another stairway up. Here we go. Wait, is this door closed? No! This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked there. My head ached, and I recalled the last time Norman, Rachel, and I had all had lunch together. Rachel seemed so much more at ease when we all hung out. Another panel that I hoped could get the power on. Did I push the switch? Yes. Only halfway. Do it again. Great, this one was working. Awesome! A utility shelf, crammed with mismatched tools and items. There's a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? No. This whole place reeked of disuse and disrepair. What was I going to do with the hammer here? The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yep. I slipped the key card into my pocket. Oh, another power thing. Alright. Yes. Push it. Push it. Push it again. Yes. Okay. Not working. The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta kick it. Kick it. Yes. There we go. That should get us all 5, right? Did I miss anything up here? The door had been hastily boarded up. Well, I'm not going back for the hammer. Fuck the hammer. Is it through this one? That had the door with the key card? Keycard I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the keycard? Yes. Ooh. There was some kind of ventilation hatch here. It looked like I could jump into the room below. My leg hurt enough as it is, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? Yeah. Ah! Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. Ow. Oh, did I limp even more? The bottom of the ventilation hatch hung open. It was pretty high up. I wasn't sure if anyone could have got back up there. There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily, and it was hard to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Yes, read the letter. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was, need to. Just don't. Drinking. Need. Norman. Who was Norman writing to? Through this door. I looked around at the darkened trees and damp, hard-packed dirt outside of the factory walls. I wasn't entirely familiar with the path before me, but I knew it was a long walk home. For some reason, I felt a hint of regret at leaving that place, but I knew I had to get home to Rachel. I thought I'd try to make it back to the main road and find my way from there. I need to take a drink. Let me know if something highlights. Alright, here we go. Is the way out? Oh man. Garbage cans. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. A wooden door. I'd entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet, except for the faint sound of a television. Norman's gonna be dead. Hey, Normie! The TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. I couldn't make out what was on the screen, but that glow just gave me the chills. Okay. Oh, shit! Oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker and one of my few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been killed trying to get up. His eyes were so wide with shock. Norman, you deserve better than this. Did I close his eyes? Yeah. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think any more about what was going on. I closed Norman's eyes quickly. Do I have to go back out downstairs to go outside? Kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through the mess, did I? No. I was already filthy and exhausted. I didn't want to keep rooting around in garbage. I guess this was for Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. I'd never been to Norman's place before. At least, I didn't remember ever doing so. Okay, let's just book on out of here. Sorry, Norman. This is probably the bathroom. Despite the shock of already finding Norman in this state, seeing this just turned my stomach just as much. It was one of Rachel's old fall coats. Oh! What was it doing there? Was she okay? Something dark stained the sleeve. My stomach only tightened further. Oh, fuck. There was a well-maintained gun cabinet in Norman's room. I didn't know much about guns, but it looked like he kept a few hunting rifles. I knew Norman hunted occasionally, but I didn't know him to be such a collector. Okay, were Norman and Rachel getting it on, or did Rachel come here looking for help, or what? Alright, we came in that way, we'll go this way, and the entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looked like I couldn't just pop it open, I needed a key. There's a bit of blood on the keyhole. Is it on Norman? I don't want to root around in his pockets. I hope to hell Rachel had nothing to do with that mess. What was this? It looked like a pull chain hanging from the ceiling. I wondered where it led. Did I pull the chain? Yes, we know where it leads. I gave the chain a single tug, and a simple folding ladder to the attic popped out. Go to the attic. Go up. Maybe we'll find the key out up here. There's a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I open it? Yeah, why not? I opened up the old cardboard box and wasn't entirely surprised by what I saw. There were more of Rachel's things. More of my wife's clothes. Photos, shoes, even that old radio I gave her. Why, Rachel? What were you doing here with Norman? I just couldn't believe it. My head ached with everything that was running through it. Okay. Looks like we've got to go back outside. Unless there's something I missed, which is possible. Yeah, there was... wait a minute. There's a little bit of something dark staining the sleeve. Trash! I didn't look through the trash. Let's do that. Gross. Sorry, Norman. This is grotesque. Yes, dig through it. I found a hairpin amongst rotting food and trash and pocketed it. Let's take out containers and food scraps. Looked like Norman was eating for two. We can get out with the hairpin, I bet ya. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. Were you thinking of going somewhere with Rachel, Norman? Were you thinking of going somewhere with Rachel? The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been out for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. What's the matter, Norman? Cheated on your hydro bills, too? There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed no black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. That night continued to take horrible turn after horrible turn. It had been weeks since I'd last seen Norman, but to find him like that... Who could have done that to him? Seeing that dusty box of old clothes was a shock. How long had they been there? What was Rachel doing at Norman's place? I felt like I'd only discovered more questions, but no answers. I was close to home. It was time to find out the truth. It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. Oops. Free TV. This is it. This is it. Free TV. The neighbor's local post box. A letter was sticking out, as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? Yes. The envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwriting looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore open the package. Norman! Why do I speak in a high-pitched voice when I'm doing a woman's voice? My voice is high-pitched anyway. Norman, I'm sending this to you in a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it wasn't wrong. It was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out, away from you both. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him, Norman, so you don't think you can hold that against me. Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I even want to, but he deserves that much. Goodbye. I didn't know what to think. My mind was racing, my heart pounding. I had to get home. I had to. Wrong gate. Oh! This is it. I'd entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. I think Rachel's dead. I think Buddy got pissed off and killed her. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? The table was clean. It hadn't been used recently. The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out, though. I needed to see if Rachel was here. Alright, let's go through this door. The door to the basement. It was locked. Where'd I put the damn key? Upstairs? More upstairs. Door. TV. Our television. I'd purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterwards, but by then it was too late. Rachel was pretty angry about it, I realized. Downstairs, this way. The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Alright, upstairs. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I looked more closely, it looked like the man in the house had some of the same books as I did. One book in particular seemed a bit odd. I remembered owning it, but not that edition. My wife Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? Yes. Rachel's suitcase contained clothes, toiletries, and a train ticket. Is this what you were going to do with Norman? Rachel, why? Were you really going to run away with Norman? Was I really such a monster? Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. I couldn't really make myself out anymore. I wasn't sure I wanted to. Is this the bedroom? What's the bathroom? Our sink, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always got stuck, but I hadn't gotten around to fixing it yet. That old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed tubs. It seemed to be practical at times, but it was part of what made the house home. Is this the bedroom? My laptop had been left on, and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key on top of the drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes. I pocketed the key. The laptop was warm. It had been running for a while. Well, let's see. Laptops have, what, 2-hour battery? Well, our laptop has a 2-hour battery pack. There. Okay, so downstairs. And this one? No. Was it on this floor? Is that locked door? Can't remember. Door was stuck shut. There's an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. I have a key. I unlocked the basement door. Here we go. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. I couldn't even remember their last Christmas. garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take the key? Yes. I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. I know what it unlocks. It unlocked the thing. It looked like there was plaster and an old trowel in here too. Oh no, he buried her in the fucking walls. There were old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't gotten around to throwing away yet. We had way too much junk. I'd put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. I'd put oh god. Maybe I can find something heavy. Oh man, maybe I should have taken the hammer. Fuck. That's the kitchen, okay. Upstairs, right? The grimy key I'd found in the basement unlocked the door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? You did it, you bastard. You don't even fucking remember. There's an old crowbar on the floor. Did I take the... Yes, take the crowbar. We can find out what's behind the wall. I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. Rachel's behind the drywall. Rachel's behind the drywall. Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yes. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down here? Was she okay? No, you killed her! Don't look. I'm looking. Because if I murdered somebody, I want to fucking know about it. Nothing's highlighting. Don't look. Oh, is that blood or dirt? I'm looking. A filthy-looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile, to see what lay within. But I knew I had to. I'd come this far. After all this searching, after all I'd seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? It was worse than I could have possibly imagined. Within the folds of the rotten-smelling, heavy fabric was the pale, dead figure of my darling wife. What struck me the most was she wasn't bloody or torn apart. Rather, she was covered in sickly green bruises, and her windpipe had been crushed. The real horror there was that whoever killed her had done so intimately, with bare hands. So this is what had been gnawing at the back of my mind this whole time. This is what I was afraid of. I thought about all I'd seen, and wondered if any of it could have helped me figure out who had done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly, exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Is that it? Maybe I would use some of Rachel's travel books and find a place to go. I believe that is the end of the game. Let's go downstairs. Let's see if we can get out. So what I'm thinking is he found out that she and Norman were having an affair, and he killed her. Then buried her in the damn wall. I don't remember if the game has like a proper ending. I couldn't leave, not until I thought about this some more. I needed answers. You don't need answers, you know what the fuck happened. You killed her! That's it. As far as I remember, that's home. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I will see you tomorrow.